Hi there and welcome to your yoga class. This is a really nice short class designed to help you stretch off after your work day. So we're going to start by sitting on our bottoms, nice and straight back, remember, hands on your knees or just clasped in between. And just sit for a second, you can shut your eyes as well. And just take a couple of nice big deep breaths. Now when I say deep breaths, we're trying to fill up the whole belly and expand the rib cage out to the front and the sides and the back as well. Nice big deep breaths just to start our practice, and relax your shoulders as well, relax your jaw. Feel your sit bones grounding down into the mat. Just a couple of breaths, just to settle into your practice. And now what we're going to do, we are going to take our right hand and you're going to bring it round as much as you can, round your back to the left hand side, and clasp your left hand. So you're in this sort of position and just go as far as you can, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to look over our left shoulder, okay? So you're in this position and then you're going to look over, and this is designed just to stretch the neck off. Maybe looking at a screen all day. Just look behind you, keep that nice breathing going. And then coming back round to the front, we are then going to tilt our head over to the left. So tilt, ear to the arm that is bent basically. And feel that nice big stretch, and drop your right shoulder as well. You should be feeling that right up your neck, and play about with it. Just put your chin back and forward a little bit and just see where that sweet spot is for you. That's it. So just gently coming back up. Take your arms away, that's it. We're going to do the other side. So left arm comes round the back, clasp it with your right hand, okay? So kind of get comfy here, okay? And then we're going to do the opposite. So let's look over our right shoulder now. Keeping your back nice and straight. Starting to feel the stretch in that neck. And you're getting a bit of a twist here as well. Just a small twist. Don't want you turning your torso around too much, mainly focusing on the neck. Then coming back round to the beginning again. And then you're going to just let your head drop over to the right. And remember, tilt the chin back and forward. Feel where those areas of tension are. And just rest there and breathe into it. A couple of more breaths here. And then letting them go, giving them a wee shake out. So next we're going to inhale, raise our hands, and then we're going to have a twist. So left arm over, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you, and exhaling the way out. Inhale, come up, we'll do the other side. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Keeping the back nice and straight. So a couple more of these. That's it. Exhaling on the way down, inhaling and stretching up on the way up. And try and get it nice and fluid, nice and flowy, giving your spine a lovely stretch. You might be sitting at a desk all day, or you might be doing something really physical all day. But either way, lovely big stretch and twist for the spine. That's it. So, coming back round, we're going to put our hands on our knees. We're going to do a seated cat-cow. Okay, now we sometimes do this on our hands and our knees. I'll turn to the side so you can see what I mean. But your hands on your knees, and you're going to inhale and just bring your chest forward, okay? So it's a really small back bend and looking up. Then exhale, really round that back. Okay, so you're stretching the upper part of your back here. And then inhale and exhale, a few rounds of these. And this is where you'll feel if you get any tension in that upper back. Really as if you're trying to separate the shoulder blades as much as possible. Coming up, inhaling and exhaling. And just a couple more of them. Inhaling and exhaling. Lovely, and then just coming back to a neutral spine. So we're going to come up onto a tabletop now. Okay, so hands and knees, and remember when we're on our hands and knees, nice wide hands. Okay, we're going to do a wrist stretch here both ways. So just do what you can, okay? You can come back as far as you want to, or you can start up in a tabletop position, okay? So what we're going to do is turn our hands so your fingers are pointing back the way, okay? And then what you're going to do is just lean back ever so slightly, just however much you can, okay? Because it is quite an intense stretch, this one, but you should feel it right up the inside of your forearm. So just pause in there for a few seconds. And then what to do is you can bring your knees in a wee bit. You're going to bend your fingers a wee bit. Lift the heel of your hand off the floor and bend your elbows, okay? And you'll feel that more of a stretch in your hands now, okay? Really nice if you're sitting at a keyboard all day. That's it, coming back up again. Sit back in your heels and just give your wrists a nice wee circle. That's it, back and forward. And we're going to do the other side. So back into that tabletop position. So you're going to put the top of your hands on the floor now. Okay, just like this, fingers nice and wide. And again, just come back. It's a little bit different when they're this way around, but just come back as far as you can to feel the stretch on your wrists and on your forearms, top of your forearms as well. That's it. And then again, we're going to bend the forearms a little bit, sit back a little bit more and bring that top of that wrist off the floor, just to change the stretch slightly. That's it. And then coming back up, give them a wee circle. That can be quite an intense stretch, but really nice if you're on a keyboard or using your hands and your arms in a sort of consistent way. So we're going to put our hands on the floor. We're going to come up to our first downward dog. Tuck in the toes. We're going to lift our bottom up and then come back. Now this is your first downward dog, okay? So remember, you can pedal it out. You can also bend the knees. This is absolutely fine. Okay, hands are shoulder width apart, feet are hip width apart, and just pedal it out. Okay, your heels do not need to come to the floor at all, but just by walking the dog and pedaling it out, it just gives your calves and your hamstrings a chance to loosen up a little bit. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to walk up to your hands. Keep your hands on the floor. Bend your knees, bend them as much as you need to actually, and you might even want to rest your chest on your knees because you're going to hold on to the inside of your elbows and just hang your head in a ragdoll pose. That's it. Now you can sway side to side if you want to as well. That sometimes feels quite nice to loosen up the side body as well and let your head hang. And what we're trying to do is just encourage a wee bit of traction in the spine, so increasing the space ever so slightly. That's it. And just pausing here for a small second and then slowly coming up, especially if we've been hanging over there for a wee second or two, you can be quite dizzy. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand with our legs hip width apart now, raise our hands up in the air, and you're going to hold on to your right wrist with your left hand, okay? Keeping your body nice and straight. We're going to bend over to the left. Lovely big stretch in this side of your body, right up your arm and then up to the middle, and do the other side. So hold on to the left and remember lengthening first. Nice big inhale, then coming over. It makes quite a difference if you lengthen first. So we're trying to encourage space and length and get as much of a stretch in as we possibly can. Back to the middle. Let's do both sides again. Inhale onto the other hand, coming over. And this should feel pretty nice. Up into the middle again, hold your left wrist and then come over. Now we're going to do it again with a bit of a difference. So coming up into the middle again, hold on to the right wrist with the left hand, and this time we're going to inhale, but you're going to actually put your right foot behind you. So you're just sort of putting it over to the side behind you and then coming across. Keep the body straight, don't be bending forward or back. Okay, it just changes the stretch slightly for you. And then back to the middle again. Same on the other side. Change your hands, put your left foot behind you, lengthen and coming over. And you should feel a wee bit more of a stretch there. That's it. So, coming back to the middle again, we're going to put our feet wider apart, probably about a leg length apart, and your toes should be about 10 to 2 position. So about there or thereabouts, okay? And we're gonna come down, squat down, put your hands on the inside of your thighs and just kind of give a wee bit of movement. What feels good here, okay? Your weight is coming back the way, okay? Give a wee sort of wriggle about. Feel how good that feels, stretching your glutes. And then we're going to put our hands on the inside of our legs and you're going to dip your shoulders to get a really nice twist. So first of all, you're going to dip that left shoulder, feel that lovely stretch up the left hand side of your back there. That's it, up to the middle, and then dip the other shoulder. This should feel really nice, releasing all the tension from underneath those shoulder blades as well. Because even if you don't maybe do a job at a desk, then you can carry quite a lot of tension in your shoulders and upper back. That's it, and coming back to the middle again, okay? So what we're going to do is then we're going to come up, that's it, raise our hands up, point your fingers at the top, and then exhale, come down again, that's it, and then inhale, coming back up, nice and slow, point your fingers at the top, and then exhale, back down again. So just zigzag your feet in, or you can step right in if you want to. And what we're going to do, feet are hip width apart again, and you're going to bring your hand around behind you, interlace them and open that chest. Now when I say open, chest is heading up the way, not out the way, okay? So nice and tall, and you're going to keep your knees bent, okay? So keep your knees bent, coming over. Now come over as much as you want to, bend the knees as much as you want to, and you're gonna sort of just let your head hang like we did in ragdoll, but this time your shoulders are involved, and you shouldn't feel any real stretching on your legs because we've got them pretty bent here, but you should feel a lovely big shoulder stretch right all over the shoulder joint, and just letting the hands come up and forward as much as possible, but just whatever's comfortable for you. Nice big stretch. And then pushing into the feet, tuck the chin in. Just coming back up again and give your shoulders a nice wee roll. So standing with your legs hip width apart, you're just going to roll them back. Feels quite nice after that big shoulder stretch. So roll them back 3 or 4 times and then roll them forward 3 or 4 times. That's it. So standing side on in your mat, your feet are coming about leg length apart again, but this time your toes are pointing forward, so your feet are in a straight line, okay? We're going to inhale, put our hands on our hips, and then we're going to exhale and fold forward. Now your knees can be a little bit bent if you want to. Fold forward. If your hands come to the floor, great. If not, just rest them on your legs, okay? And you're going to, if your hands are on the floor, inhale and straighten the spine, and then exhale, come forward a little bit more. Weight is in the toes, and you should feel a lovely big stretch up the back here of your thighs and legs and everything. And then you're going to inhale, just look up first of all, exhale, hands on your hips, and then inhale, coming all the way back up again. Lovely. So from here, you're going to turn your right foot out, okay? Now this back foot, we're going to turn our hips to face across our front foot. So turn this back foot as much as you need to make your hips face over that front foot. Now, the legs are staying straight, but you can have a wee bend. You don't have to have them poker straight. You can have a wee bend in the front foot. We're going to do a triangle pose. Really nice for loosening up the whole body and getting rid of a lot of tension in your hips as well. So hands out to the side, okay? Front leg is as straight as you want. Hips are pointing like headlights, remember? And you're going to move over your front foot first of all, and then come over to triangle pose. Now you might be on a block here. Your hand might be to the inside of your calf, or you might be holding onto your toes. But the most important thing about this is see this shoulder, bringing it back, okay? And you might feel a wee pop in your thigh. That often happens in this position, and that's fine, but you're getting a lovely stretch up here and a lovely stretch in your torso as well. So looking down, you're going to come up strong up into the middle. We're going to do the other side, so feet straight, Point the left foot out, and again, adjust that back foot so that your hips can point across and right in front there. We don't want them out to the side at all. Okay, same thing as before, hands out. Remember that wee bend if you want it. Move over your front foot and then come over. So back of the hand, wherever really you want it, you might be on a block. Top hand is up here, and this right shoulder here is coming back. And look up if you want to as well. Okay, sometimes it helps with the rotation, actually. That's it. And then looking down first of all, and then inhale, coming up nice and strong. That's it. Feet back to parallel, and then stepping to the front of your mat. So from the front of your mat, we are going to raise our hands up. Look at your thumbs, fingers pointing up to the ceiling, and then we're going to exhale, forward fold from your hips, okay? Keep these knees bent if you need to, and put your hands on the floor, all right? You might have loosened up enough that you can straighten your legs, and that's absolutely fine. And then you're going to inhale, straighten the spine now, okay? So you're on your fingertips, and this spine's nice and straight, and your head and neck are elongated. Your hands might be here as well, okay? It's all about the length, this part. Then exhale, coming down onto plank pose, okay? So your feet are hip width apart, again, heels pushing back. You might be more comfortable with your knees down here, okay? So from here, we're going to lower down, keep your elbows in, and we're going to come up to cobra pose. So top of the feet on the floor, hands in by your rib cage, and we're going to lead with the top of the back rather than the head, and come up to cobra. Now you can come up to full cobra like this, or half cobra. See what your back likes the best. Pushing the top of your feet into the floor and relaxing those shoulders. We don't want to brace out like this, nice and relaxed. Okay, then tucking your toes in. You can come straight up to downward dog if you want, or you can come up to tabletop and then come up to downward dog. So stretch it all out again like we did before. That's it. Remember, bent knees and heels off the floor is absolutely fine. This is good. Rather than having your legs straight and sort of a humpy back like this. So just do what you can, lift your tailbone up, and then you're going to put your left knee in the floor, right knee in the floor, cross your legs at the back, and then all of a sudden we're sitting down on our bottoms. So we're going to do a butterfly pose now. So soles of the feet together, and we're going to do it a little bit differently. Sometimes we do this with a straight back, sometimes with a curved back, depending on what we're trying to achieve or what our intention is. So what we're going to do is, you should have a diamond shape in between your legs here. Knees, it doesn't matter how far down they are, you might even want to prop them up with a couple of blocks. Okay, so move your feet in and out to sort of accommodate. You want to feel a nice stretch in the inside of your thighs, okay? So holding onto your feet, first of all, straightening the back, okay? Really important for the first part. We're going to inhale, straighten the back, and then exhale, hinge forward, okay? You might only come a short distance, but that's fine, because as long as you're feeling it in the inside of your thighs, adjust your feet as you need to, but keep the back straight, okay? Because then what we're going to do is we're going to come from a straight back, and you're actually going to curve it over. So let go of your feet, your hands just come to the floor, wherever they reach, top of the hands on the floor, and then you're just going to let your head curve over and feel how that changes everything. And this is more of a passive stretch. So your head is kind of giving you the weight for the stretch. You're still feeling it in the inner thighs, but you'll feel there's a lot more in your spine. So this is a really nice stretch for the entire spine. But nothing should be forced at this point. This is a really, really passive stretch, and it doesn't matter where your hands are. Top of the hands on the floor can be a wee bit better. You don't have to have, you can do whatever you want, but it's a bit better because you don't brace yourself that way. You kind of just relax a wee bit more, but see what works for you. And then slowly walking up. Okay, and we're going to come down onto our backs. That's it, and bring your knees into your chest. Okay, roll from side to side if you want to. Give yourself a really nice wee stretch. And then we're going to have a short relaxation in Shavasana. So put your legs out to the side of the mat, top of the hands on the floor, and close your eyes. And just feel your body getting heavier on the mat. And take note, how does your body feel compared to how it did at the beginning of your practice? And remember, Shavasana is your time to reset and just restore. And relax for a few minutes. So just gently starting to deepen your breath and wriggling your toes and your fingers, just gently waking the body back up, maybe bending your knees as well and rolling onto your side before you sit up. Okay, so gently just pushing up and coming to a sitting position with your hands at your heart. And we're just going to close today with a namaste. So I hope this practice heals and strengthens your body and your mind. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that's loosened everyone up after a hard day at work. Or you don't have to have had a hard day at work, you can do this anyway, and it'll make your body feel a little bit less tense and a little softer maybe. And I hope you can come back again and join me for loads of different classes, depending on what you're in the mood for. So thanks again, and I'll see you again soon.